Welcome once again to Enhance Your Appetite with Charlie. I am Charlie. I hope you guys are doing amazing on this Thursday. And I wanted to bring you something that you're going to probably recognize that I've done before. Do you remember these that I've done before? That's what I'm creating today. But before I did them as meat pies. So today I'm doing them as, and I call them Charlie's Easy to Make Cupcake, and today they're going to change from meat pies to chicken pot pies. Okay, so I have all my ingredients here so you guys can see. I've already greased my pans. That's number one. Make sure to separate my biscuits, right? So you can see that's what you're going to need is your Grand's buttermilk biscuits. Or whatever one you would like to use. I find this to be easier with the buttermilk because if you get like the layers, then you're gonna have to separate each one of those layers. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Then I also got my Foster Farms chicken, shredded chicken. I love that. I normally get at a time probably about 6 bags of that because you want to cut the time, make stuff a little easier for yourself and whatnot. Then, as you can see, I have my Good and Gather peas and carrots, okay? And then I also have, as you can see over there, the chicken pot pie sauce. Now, this is my first time using this today. Swear to God, this is my first time using it with you guys in the kitchen with me. Normally, I make my gravy from scratch with the flour and whatnot and go through that whole process. Cutting time again and trying to create some easy meals for you guys as well, right? So I've already put my mixture together with my chicken also, as well as this chicken pot pie cooking sauce, and then I have my peas and carrots in there, and I also chopped up some celery in there. I used a half of 1 piece of celery if you want to add that as well, because I remember like all of the chicken pot pies that I used to eat growing up, they always had a little bit of celery in there as well. So I put a little bit. If you don't like celery, you could go ahead and omit that. Don't worry about it, okay? So now I'm getting ready to start stuffing my biscuits, okay? So you have that bottom part already in the pan so that it could go around the whole cupcake, right? Then you're going to start stuffing that with your chicken pot pie stuffing. And you can put as much as you want to put in there. I think that's a good amount, okay? Uh-oh. And then you just go ahead and put your top of the biscuit. So you're going to put your bottom part of the biscuit in the cupcake pan. You fill it with your filling, and then you put the top part on. Simple as that. Okay, I'm going to put my chicken in there. Get some more filling for my next biscuit here. And then just top it with my biscuit. Go around that cupcake. Make sure everything is sealed together. And then we're just going to go through this process until we complete them all. Then we'll put them in the oven for 375, at 375 I should say, for about 10 to 15 minutes. You just watch it. It could be closer to 10 to 12 minutes. You know, this chicken is already cooked, so you don't have to worry about that. You know, and making sure that the chicken is all the way cooked, because it is. And this chicken, this shredded Foster Farms chicken, I only find it at Target for some reason. So that's where I get it. And when I see it, I stack up on it and put it in my deep freezer for another time for something else that I'm going to do. Sometimes I have the time to, like, you know, boil my chicken and shred it and go through that whole process, and sometimes I don't, right? Because I am an entrepreneur as well, so I'm on the go a lot. But I do try to make filling and healthy meals for my family, and I try to prep ahead of time as well, because I know I am a busy person, so that I can make sure to, you know, have what I need when I'm going to cook. And if I'm not cooking in the kitchen, I mean, if I showed you guys videos every other day that I cook, I mean, you guys probably get tired of me. But I normally cook about every other day. And I have, you know, weeks where I might cook every day. It just all depends. And even when my kids were growing up, they always wanted homemade meals. They were not fast food kids. So I always had to come up with little ideas to keep them happy. And when they had their friends over, I would make my famous shrimp nachos, and all their friends just loved it. So it was always being creative in the kitchen. Especially when you had kids that were kind of picky and knew what good food was all about. So they're not going to their friend's house just to eat. Because they know mom could throw down in the kitchen. So that's how it went, you know. But again, that's what cooking is all about, is the cherished moments with your family and seeing what your family really likes and adjusting recipes. That's another thing. Because if you notice, the last time I did this with the meat pies, my daughter told me how much she loved it. She said, Mom, when are you going to do that again? Because that was so good. You know, and that's what your family will tell you. When you do a good job, they'll tell you. Like, ooh, I love that. So I told her this time I was thinking about making like little mini pot pies. And, you know, she'll tell me if she likes these too. You know, I said I'm going to adjust the recipe a little bit and make these mini pot pies. With the same idea, just changing it from ground turkey to chicken. Right? So I'm going to continue to make these, and I'll come back and show you the finished meal, the mini pot pies, chicken pot pies to be exact. And I thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen. And until next time, from my kitchen to yours, I'll see you in just a bit.